Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody on the call today, especially in our new format of First Wednesdays, which we're going to be doing as we move forward. Um, Unfortunately, Ellie won't be able to join us today because she's got a sick kid. So send those good vibes out to Ellie and Gavin. But we're going to get started here. Welcome to Urban Updates, our April edition. We do not have a technical assistance section today because we're sort of getting back on track. So instead, what we'll be doing is very quickly sharing some of our updates and then updating you all on statewide events that we're going to be getting back into. And then, of course, open it up for Q&A as well as any partner shares that you guys have for us. First, some highlights. We just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page with regard to where USH is at. Unfortunately, we were furloughed from February 28th to March 17th. And in those 2 weeks, we had to do a lot of soul searching and hoping and being very positive about where we were at. Luckily, with the help of IASWCD's management, we were able to come back 2 weeks later, and we are all secured to work until May 17th, as we are right now. Can you send that slide? Thanks. Unfortunately, though, we won't know until the end of April whether or not we are going to get the $45,000 in IRA funding that was originally promised to us. And we're pretty much pausing working group payments until we know where that funding is going to come from. And we're fairly confident that the non-IRA obligated funds for USH will come through, and then we can resume most of our normal operations. So we'll be back on track in the USH that across the state. But unfortunately, our contract renewal beyond September of 2025 is uncertain. Some of you guys knew that we were renegotiating our contracts, and that 2025 was our final year. So we're working with state level NRCS leadership to attempt to nail down some of that funding, as well as looking for private funding and non-federal grants. So for those of you who are just really into grants or know some do-gooders who are interested in the climate and soil health and moving forward with that, please let us know. So we would love to focus on how we can live beyond September and be supportive in the small scale technical assistance area and supportive of our ICP partners. But right now, like I said, still pretty uncertain, but we're happy to help while we're here. Again, we want to say that we're really thankful for IASWCD state level and RCS leadership in helping us to navigate this really difficult time. We know we're not the only ones suffering right now. And we just want to say thanks, to many of the other state associations. You guys are important programs in Indiana, and some were not as lucky as we were to be able to get that little bit of funding again. So again, just we want to reach out to you all. We want to stay supportive. We want to stay hopeful. So please let us know how we can help you all and continue on our path in partnerships. So does anybody have any questions about that? I don't know how well I can answer them, but we can try. Okay. I didn't see anything pop up. So we'll move forward, but that doesn't mean that if you don't have a question, you can't pop it in the chat, and we won't try to answer it. So let's move on to our regional updates and start with the Northwest.
Hi, everyone. So good to be here. Very grateful and very thankful to be here. And with us still being on furlough, there was still a lot that we still ended up kind of attending just because, people had asked, and it felt like I wanted to continue some of that work. And so during that time, we tabled at with Hendricks County SWCD to ask them, to table at their event where they screened the film Common Ground. And so that's a continuation of Kiss the Ground. And it brought together a lot of people who were part of the community and had either seen Kiss the Ground or not. And so answered a lot of questions of large scale farmers, small scale farmers, that urban soil health is still around. And that film really evoked a lot of emotions with everyone, and I think energized us that tackling and being an advocate of soil health is one of the foundational ways that we can advocate for global health for humans and non-human beings. So really powerful. And I was really grateful for Bree Ollier of Hendricks County SWCD to have us table there. Megan joined me, and so it was a really good time. And then Lake County SWCD held their annual meeting, which I got to go to, and I got to meet some other local community members who are doing a lot of soil testing and community outreach work. So Sam Love, shout out, doing really cool work and kind of being on the back burner waiting for us to, see if we can continue funding with the local working groups or not. And yeah, it was beautiful. And then the SWCD people handed out free tulip seedlings to everyone who was there, which was just so incredible, and what a gift. So thank you to them for inviting us. And then Montgomery County SWCD, I got to be part of planning a soil compost activity for the kiddos at the Carnegie Museum's Spring Break Science Week. So I couldn't be there, but they did end up having 3 families with kids who were very excited about learning what goes into compost, what are microbes, what to kind of look for if you're looking at soil, like well done compost versus just dirt. So they had this table set up, as you can see in the picture, and the parents are also excited to join in on future SWCD events. So that was exciting. And the county wants to host more events like that to reach more kids. And then Marion County's Kevin Allison hosted a Gardening with Cover Crops webinar. He held 2 times in one day, and that recording will be on their website. And so getting to see people from literally Canada and all over the states coming together to learn about cover crop management and techniques for growing and termination in between vegetables, I think really sparked a lot of good questions too, site-specific questions. And so I think that is really in need of, technical assistance and topics that hopefully like we can kind of jump back into helping to teach people and doing demonstration gardens and such, because that thirst for that knowledge is like really out there. And I'll head it out to the next person.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So highlights for the Northeast. I really didn't do a lot of work in that month. So volunteered at the Small Farm Conference, which was always loads of fun. Really great to be in community with all of the small farm folks that are there. The when we found out that we were coming back to work, I had a vacation planned for that first week. So I was so excited to take PTO for my first week back at work. And so those other pictures there are me and my husband got to go to Sedona, Arizona. We have never been, and it was pretty freaking magical there. Very peoply because we chose to go there unknowingly during the peak of spring break. So there was lots and lots of people. So it was a little bit of a challenge to find those places that weren't absolutely inundated with other human beings while being out in nature. But we got to do lots of hiking, and I actually booked my flight so that I could attend the farmers market that was in Sedona. Like, and it was so cool because they had fresh local oranges and dates and all of these wonderful goodies that I'm just not used to at our farmers markets here. And then we also went to the picture on the right, we went to the Grand Canyon, and there's a couple of paths, trails that we were going to attempt, but it had actually snowed significantly the day before. So the one on the right, we were able to make it down just about that much of the switchbacks before it just got too icy and muddy for us. And we were all both like, I don't want to fall into the Grand Canyon. So that's as far as we made it. So that was our like, yay, we made it that far picture. Um, and then the bottom picture was we did a sunset hike all around a mesa. And we didn't plan it well enough that and we didn't have our lights other than our cell phones. So when the sun set and it was dark out, we had to go very, very quickly with the remaining sunlight that we had, and it pushed our physical abilities, and it was amazing. And we celebrated with the coyotes all howling our celebration once we got back to the top. So yeah, I just wanted to share my highlight for the month, and it was amazing. But it's also been really great being back to work, working on the website. We are working on a revamp of the website, and making it even better than what you guys know. It's just an unruly beast. So been doing a lot of tappy tap with that. So look forward to seeing a new revamped website, hopefully coming within the next month. That's the Northeast. Thanks, folks.
Hi, everyone. Casey here in the Southwest. Like everyone else, I tried to stay busy during that time that we were off. A few pictures of some things. I was able to help participate in a regional envirothon, where I gave a soils presentation to students before they took their test. So that was fun to be able to do that. That's the bottom right picture. And the top right picture is a tabletop demonstration sample that I pulled to use for that presentation. So always like to share a good soil health picture. This was in a taken from the pasture behind my house that used to be heavily tilled corn and beans for many, many years, and has just been able to heal itself, over the last 5 years, and that's what it looked like. So I love sharing a good soil health picture, lots of roots, earthworm holes, all that stuff. So that's that. And then the top pictures of those boxes, I've briefly talked about those before. So the Fish Group here in the Southwest, they have partnered with a local high school construction class, and they were looking for a project, and the project suggested to them was building ADA accessible raised beds. So they've got one built. I think they're going to build a few more, and their intent is to put these at local nursing homes. So very cool to see that project take off, happen, and come to life. So I'll be excited to see those when they're in the nursing home, and I'll be able to share more with you then about that. And also the CARP group held a fungi workshop. They held 2 sessions, one where they learned about growing your own mushrooms, and then the next session was learning how to forage on your own. So that was an event that happened as well. And that's all I've got from the Southwest. Turn it over to Megan again.
Hey all, um, Megan in the Southeast. Um, with the furlough, I got to spend some time on my own farm. That's the far right on the top. That's my high tunnel just bursting with weeds, as well as food and a lot of bok choy bolting. So yeah, I've been getting fed from this high tunnel since I think November at this point. So it's been really great. And I was super excited at the top in the middle to sign my equip contract for 2025, which I was really grateful for as my district conservationist. Shout out to Alejandra in Jefferson County, worked really closely with me to create an extremely detailed small scale farming plan. So I just really appreciated her work on that and support. And then on the top left is a new high tunnel that we did a high tunnel build for in Bartholomew County at Integrated Elements Farm. It went up way faster than we thought it would. We did a high tunnel build and learn, but unfortunately, because of the incoming weather, the Nifty Hoops folks sort of built it before we got there. But we kind of turned it into a social event and had a great time. Just talking about season extension together and spending time farmer to farmer. Then on the bottom left, I'm taking a grazing management course through Cornell. And that has been really interesting. It is a 2-hour long class every week from February to April. So it's been a great way to learn more about integrating livestock for soil health. So I am enjoying that a lot. And like Tanvi shared earlier, I was really happy to support the Common Ground screening in Hendricks County to support the Hendricks County Soil and Water Conservation District. Bree and the staff at South Hendricks County SWCD just do a really great job up there. And it's only like a 2-hour drive for me. So I thought, hey, why not? It'll be fun. And I wanted to see the film anyway. So that's pretty much all that happened for me during the furlough and in the last couple of weeks. So we can move on to statewide. So because we're back on, we're really excited to work with small farms and do farm and field days. Coming up in just a couple of days, the Hawkins Family Farms More Than Corn story is going to be screened, I assume. Terry, did you want to talk about that a little bit more?
I'm so excited. I absolutely adore Hawkins Family Farm, and that's no secret. So they did the More Than Corn story, and they're doing the world premiere at the Cinema Center in Fort Wayne. Tickets are free. Doors open at 6. Film starts at 6:30, and then at 7 we get to have a Q&A with the farmers, and I will be absolutely gushing over them because that's what I do. So yeah, I'll put a link in the chat on the upcoming screening there.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. If you guys don't know anything about the More Than Corn series, it is initially it was a documentary series of a full-length film focusing on another one of Terry's regional growers, or no, that would be Tanvi at Full Hand Farm in just north of Indianapolis. No, it is you. Okay. And then in their second season, they decided to focus more like a sort of a doc series. So rather than a full-length film, they're more like 30 minutes, I believe, maybe a little bit longer, where they focus on multiple farmers in the state, all small scale, all doing really interesting stuff, both for the soil and for their communities. So I encourage you all to check out More Than Corn. You can certainly stream previous short films or the docuseries online as well. But definitely, if you're in the area, go check out the Hawkins Family Farm Story on April 4th, because they are no joke, they're fabulous. They're really great. April 8th, let's talk succession planning, land transfer workshop in Valparaiso, Indiana. This is a PIF organizational event. You guys should definitely check out Partners in Food and Farming for more farm and field days. They're very, very active now in the state of Indiana, trying to get more educational events on the ground. Then April 12th, there's going to be a small farm field day in Fort Wayne. Um, and then down in the south, April 12th is the Ohio County Pollinator Field Day in Bright. On April 13th, we'll be doing a no-till small-scale farming field day and farmer social at my farm in Deputy. April 22nd, we'll be doing the wildlife habitat planting, which is part 1 of 2. We'll be doing hedgerows on the 22nd of April, and then we'll be doing a pollinator area also on my farm in October. So look, that is initially has been a Purdue extension event. So you can check out Purdue's socials through the Clark County Purdue extension on that. And then as far as more centrally located and a little bit farther down the road, we're doing a soil health working group summit in Indianapolis, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in detail here in a second. And then starting in July, we'll be doing a full state farm and field day event called the Living Farm Series, where we're focusing on full system farm conservation through the lens of season extension. So we will be in all areas of the state once a month doing a half-day long event, mostly on Sundays, as well as some high tunnel builds. So check out our website for those upcoming events for one near you, or we're happy to have you down to travel and stay as well. All right, so let's talk more about the soil health, or sorry, the working group summit. Casey?
Yep. So I have been planning this with Kevin Allison. It's been a long time coming. I think we've wanted to do this since we really started the Urban Soil Health Program, to have a chance for all the working groups to come together and meet each other. But I also want this to be, you know, a day of appreciation for the working groups. You guys do so much, and we want to thank you for everything that you've done, as well as having this be like a learning experience. So we are planning to meet around Indianapolis. There's a lot of things, we're still working on some details, but the main details are we're going to be hearing from Kevin Allison himself. We're going to have a chance to get the working groups together. And then Kevin is going to talk about his demo garden. I think he was going to print off some plans, his rotations and things like that, so we can actually go through that in the morning, and then in the afternoon go out and see his garden. So we're looking at June 18th from 10 to 3-ish Eastern time. The time may change, you know, please come if you can come for just a little bit. You know, we'd love to have you. There is a QR code there where you can register. So we do have a registration open. So we do need to see like how many people are going to come. But this is open to all the working group members. So if you only want to send one working group member, totally fine. If you want to send your whole group, we'd love to have you. So just get that on your calendars and share with others, and there'll be some more information coming out soon about that. But June 18th in Indianapolis, near the Eagle Creek Park, is where the demo garden's at. So are there any questions about that? I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. We just really want to thank the working groups and show appreciation to you guys, and have some networking time as well. Okay, I'm gonna move on. If there's any partners in the chat that, or, that would like to share anything, pop anything in the chat, or now's the time to speak up, about things that are going on, in your area.
Yeah, Laura, go for it.
Good morning, all. Am I able to share my screen? I have a few slides I can share just to make it easier, but if I'm not able to share my screen, that's okay too.
I can make you co-host. Go for it.
Okay, let's try that then. My name's Laura Stoltz. I am with FarmWise Indiana, which is a new project through IU. Okay, now let me switch to presentation mode. You all tell me if this is going to work. You see it? Yes. All right, cool. So, FarmWise Indiana is through the Environmental Resilience Institute through IU. We connect institutional wholesale buyers, so schools, universities, hospitals, et cetera, to Hoosier food producers to bring local food to local plates. So I'm a value chain professional based in Evansville, but there's actually 7 of me across the state. So we are working to re-regionalize the food system. The goals of FarmWise Indiana are threefold. The first being to expand values-based food procurement strategies of institutional partners. So everything that we're doing is very much values-based. Not that we're pressing our values on buyers and producers, yet we're identifying where those values are similar and then connecting the two as such. Second, increase coordination between Hoosier farmers and institutional buyers. Our team has a lot of various expertise. My personal background is institutional buying, particularly school food service buying. So we're hoping to fill that gap between Hoosier farmers and institutional buyers. Lastly is to integrate social responsibility into food purchasing strategies. So here is a map of our team. Can you see my mouse? All right, sweet. So just to give you an idea on how the regions are broken up for our team, you can see like these folks outside of this green box, these folks outside of the green box are our value chain professional team. And I can answer any questions about those that are in specific regions. And I can also help connect you with your VCP accordingly if that's of interest to anybody. But just to give you, well, I guess I can't see my screen otherwise. That's okay. So we have, this is a long game. We're hoping to really build the statewide and further build the statewide network. The Indiana Value Chain Network has been in existence for several years. But this is the first time we've really had dedicated staff in particular regions of the state. So it's really, really exciting. Right now we're working on getting a lay of the land, and like my day-to-day, as I think I can speak for my other fellow VCPs, is just to figure out the flow of food in our regions, identify the Hoosier farmers that are producing food, what they're producing now. Do they want to scale that production? Are they wanting to diversify production? What markets are they interested in? And then we're also getting the lay of the land on potential buyers. So that's not just settings where the food is served, but it's also settings that are processing and distributing food. So we're really trying to connect with broadline distributors, food manufacturers, and all things in between. So I'm happy to answer more questions, but just wanted to give a brief introduction today. So now I'm going to figure out, yes, stop share. Okay. Thank you so much for the time.
Hey, Laura, I have a question if you don't mind. Just for the folks that we interact with, whether agriculture professionals, farmers, how do you see us interacting with FarmWise, or how, like, what does that look like from your perspective?
That's a great question. Thank you. So I think the first thing that comes to mind, the growers that you have connections with, or make new connections with, if you discover that they're interested in new markets or they're interested in scaling, that would probably be a time to connect with our team, specifically, the VCP that's in the region of the grower. We're hoping to make farming viable, and keep farmers growing food to ensure resilience for our state, to always have a constant, healthy food supply. So, Terry, remind me, I know you and I have worked together before. Can you remind me, like, what region you're in? Was it Northeast?
Yep, Fort Wayne.
Okay, yes. Okay, so Becky Landis is the VCP. You know Becky, yes.
Yeah.
So she was hired in January. She's the VCP in your region. I will actually talk to her later today, and I can connect you both if you're not already connected. And maybe you two can get together and just discuss what your region looks like. Is that a helpful answer? Any other questions?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like just trying to think, like, for like in our day to day, like what that looks like and how
Yeah. I
we
think day to
can
day,
help.
just knowing that each of these groups are resources for each other. And when you know of a farmer that's wanting to scale, looking for a bigger buyer, I'm amazed constantly at this existing network's connections and the buyers and distributors that they have connections to. So those of us that are new, we're starting to build those connections. But the folks, like, we have a rep at IDOH, ISDA, and then Jody Smith is our team lead at IU. There's connections that abound. So
Great. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Laura. Any other partners have events coming up, classes, native plant sales, opportunities to connect with growers that they want to share?
Hey, we have, sorry, just so y'all know, we have Earth Day coming up at St. Mary of the Woods. It's a pretty big deal. We'll also have a tree giveaway for Terre Haute in Gilbert Park, also on that day. So it's a long day. Also, our public library is actually having an Earth Day event on the 22nd. So I will be doing a class there from like 4 to 4:30. So I guess, and Earth Day is coming up. It's really came up fast for everybody. So we've got a Cataract Fall weed wrangle coming up. I think that was mentioned earlier. So yeah, so there's that. Just thought I'd mention St. Mary of the Woods really does Earth Day up real well. We usually run out of everything the first hour. So that's how busy it gets. So.
Thanks, Rhonda. Anybody else? Going once. All right. So our next urban updates will be on May 7th, when we will have start the meeting with
I'm gonna interject. We have a topic change. I'm so excited. So next month, actually, I talked with Kevin because we had to skip last month and not get Natalie from Minnesota coming in talking about the 100 farm study. She's actually going to be coming in to May and talking with us then.
Great.
So talking about soil health and all of the great work that they've been doing in Minnesota in high tunnels and soil health.
Cool. Thank you, Terry. That'll be exciting. So high tunnel soil health in May, not not Kevin. Poor Kevin. Of course, you can always connect with us via our website. Please do. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because the more people that follow us, the more our message gets out there. And if you guys need anything shared, please let us know. We're happy to share that out to our community as well. So if no one has anything else to share, we will see you all on May 7th if we don't see you in person first. Thanks so much for all of your time, for all of your passion, for continuing your work day to day. We really love partnering with everyone here, and we want to continue to. So please let us know how we can help you, whether that's accompanying you to field and farm days, doing soil testing, bringing specific educational programming to events, anything, just let us know. Thanks so much and have a great day, everybody.